Oh, what's up guys, Acidic Roots here. It's been a little bit since I've done some video games on the channel, but I figured, why not do a little bit of Super Mario Kart. Now this is not actually a playthrough of the game as much as it was like an attempt. So obviously what Cobalt and I were trying to do here was, unlock the 150cc so we could do a playthrough and you could just have, it'd be the theatrics of us attempting to actually beat the game on 150cc, but it didn't turn out that way, so you just get a spare video comes out of the pipeline, and for the enjoyment of it, that's just an extra bonus video. But basically, this game is pretty tough. I mean, I'd say it's one of the harder Mario Kart games. I think most people should know that at this point, but yeah, I mean, the whole thing about this game is they know the difficulty is amped up, but I mean, really 150cc is a lot worse than this. That's kind of the thing, so I didn't mind too much playing through it, but I knew I probably wasn't. I mean, obviously my skill from what I had, 15 years ago is deteriorated, but then on top of that, a lot of this I just never actually beat this game entirely, so it's kind of one of those games, it's an untamed stallion, basically, it's the whole damn thing there. I think you'll like the way Cobalt performs in this. He seems to have known the game a little bit, but yeah. So obviously you can play Mario Kart with 2 players just about in any Mario Kart every single time. If you want to bring a friend along to try to beat the Grand Prix, then that's the situation there. So, but in this Mario Kart and then the Game Boy Advance one, you do have lives, which means if you lose too many lives, it's game over. So Mario Kart 64, the GameCube one, I think the future ones, just that was it. So obviously, once again, you should probably know this, but this is just kind of supposed to be more of like a a slight hangout session, me thinking of like Google Hangouts and those type things, this kind of, I mean, even though it's only 12 minutes long, I still feel like, it's enough to have a quick meal, go to Jimmy John's or something like that, just kind of hang out. So that's what it's intended. I mean, I know those sessions pretty damn well, so. But I forget if we're actually playing on the Special Cup. I'd like to think that that's what we did, but I do think, yeah, it is, because that's the only thing stopping me from unlocking 150cc. So, but you'll see in time. I mean, obviously, if we were to put a little bit more determination, we'd probably be able to, but it just felt like haphazard to do that. I just wasn't interested. Obviously, this was in October. This was before we even started attempting like Mario Kart 64. So I just said, hell, we need something particular to fill the space between this and Mystic Quest. So I said earlier back in November I had something up my sleeve, but I'm just kind of waiting a little bit. Cobalt's been sick and those sorts of things, and I suppose Frenchie could do it, but we're just trying to get the priorities together so we can actually figure out the next move. I mean, I want to do more video game stuff, but at the same time, I mean, YouTube is just becoming a treacherous place anymore. It's becoming so corporate that I just don't know if it even has a purpose to do it. The 3 or 4 people you'd entertain versus just committing your energy to something else. I mean, I'm still going to do this because I already did it, but, just in terms of like the future, I mean, if the horizons are going to be that much more, damp, it just doesn't seem worth it. So, but I do at least want to start streaming at some point. Originally I was going to pick up Booger Man and do that, but they keep raising the price on it, and I don't feel like paying, 3/4 of $100 for a game like that. I mean, as much as I like Booger Man, of course, the main thing is it's not worth $80 or $85. Which I don't know who understands the way that the world works in terms of supply and demand, but they need to be paying more attention to the fact that it's, you know, the game is like a 5.5 out of 10 in terms of rank. You know, it's kind of like selling, you know, Tetris for something like that. You know, some game that, you know, by today's standards is severely outdated. This doesn't make a lot of sense. But nonetheless, I'll get it eventually. I just have to figure out when it's going to be worth it. So, but back to Mario Kart. I mean, this stage is a little tricky. You know, I don't have too much to say about it just because this is not an actual playthrough. But, I mean, you just have to, you know, for those trying to get past the special cup, it is somewhat of a pain in the rear, but I'm trying to think of what's been happening. I mean, the holidays just happened, and just kind of taking it easy and focusing on what I want to do. I mean, I've got all these fellows that are showing up and that sort of thing. There's a lot that's happening vlog-wise on Acidic Roots that I want, you know, folks to know about in 2019. So, you know, this video is going to go up in 2019, but like the main focus of it is just being able to do that. So, but yeah, so I do have a couple rap CDs by me. I've been going to the library and just kind of renting rap just to kind of see what's up with that. I mean, I got, oh, that was a nice little burp. I'm getting ready to have some Taco Bell tacos pretty soon. I half now, I'm gonna have half later. So just getting a few Taco Bell tacos and getting, you know, crunchy tacos with sour cream. I mean, they really charge you for the sour cream, but you know, I just said the hell with it. I mean, maybe next time I'll just use my sour cream at home, but this is convenient. So that burp smelled like tacos, and but anyhow, you know, back to you know, the rap CDs. I rented Drake's Views from 2016 and a couple other ones like Majid Jordan. I don't know how you say their name, but that's also on Drake's label. It's one of his R&B acts. I just kind of figured, you know, I think I was the one that ordered that CD, had the library purchase it, so I figured I'd mess with it again. I was just too preoccupied. I think it was like, had to have been when I was 27 a couple of years ago that I ordered that, but just never got around to it, so I'm gonna mess with it now. And then there's, you know, another one, Post Malone, but yeah, so I'm just gonna start. I'm really trying to focus on errands heading into the winter of 2019. I really want to focus on errands more so than just like the same spaces that I go to. I mean, the library was remodeled, and I briefly talked about it in year 2, but I just never went there that much. I think it'd be worth it to have like a decent sized hangout. I mean, it's a pretty, you know, high collar or whatever you'd say to that, highbrow place. I mean, there's a coffee shop in the store that you can, you know, it's like a little mini shop that's kind of like a bar except with coffee involved, so you can actually sit on a stool and drink coffee, and you know, it's, you know, you can buy, there's a gift shop and those sorts of things. I know standard libraries have it, but this is in a bar setting, so it's kind of this is a halfway depot, and then the checkout's right by there. There's just a lot of stuff. I know there's people that live off of, you know, the internet there just because they don't have computers. There's a library that's downtown that I should have shown back when I was going to Cobalt's concerts. You know, people used to steal the CDs, so they had to put them in like glass cases and everything, or plastic cases, and you know, people that just live off the internet, you can only be on there for an hour, but you know, you can have like 3 or 4 hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours a day that you can totally use the internet. So how many folks are just on Facebook or on like, you know, social media, Instagram or something? Well, I don't know if they'd have Instagram, but definitely Facebook and stuff, Twitter and shit. I would probably be more of a Twitter. If I was, you know, necking with being homeless, I would definitely say I'd probably have a Twitter and would just tweet to people and say, look, you know, I'm going to be at this place, you can come have a drink with me, and I'm going to have like a Coke by this spot, like a muffin or something. You can fuck with me for that amount of time, but that just happens to be the whole thing there, is just saying that sort of stuff. I don't know how many people who are actually, you know, drifters are sitting there, you know, on Twitter. That it just would feel like that would be the thing to do. But, you know, where I'm from, I know, you know, obviously Twitter recommends that I follow like the mayor of my town and you know, people in politics that are in like the courthouse and that sort of thing, you know. But I just don't, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to tune in just to figure out like what they're voting on as far as like park recreation or something like that. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's the essence of Twitter. I really need to follow some more people on Twitter, I would definitely say. I really need to mess around and, you know, get a handful more people. I only have like 1 or 2 that I'm really interested in, but yeah. So, but yeah, the library is definitely, I'm gonna start going there more. I'll probably take some pictures of me at the damn library. I've been really trying to take photos of that sort of stuff, so it'll happen. But, you know, oh, dare I say, well, what the hell? I mean, if Cobalt won, then that means that we unlocked. That means that we unlocked, well, no, we didn't. It was the Mushroom Cup. I was going to say, you know, something was amiss here. Alright, subscribe for more fun. We'll see what happens. You know, the future is kind of random, so if we do more, we do more, but stay tuned.